So it's a beautiful evening. It's a beautiful, well, I hope it was a beautiful day for everyone. And I just want to say welcome to each and every individual, those of you who are viewing and those of you who will be viewing this program. Those on YouTube, we just want to say a special good night to you. Remember, in order for us to know if you're viewing, you can just send a message, say hi, say hello, good evening, something. And well, before I introduce these special young men who are here to do our men talk and for us to have a wonderful interactive session, let us use this opportunity to pray at this time. So, loving and eternal Father, we are grateful to be here for another program, another live edition of Issues in Focus. And Lord, I pray that tonight, even as the men, they seek to answer questions based on their opinions, based on their abilities, based on the information that they know. May you help us all to have an interactive session, be with the audience in a special way. And those individuals who are about to view the program and those who are viewing, may they be touched in some way or another, we pray, through Jesus Christ. Amen. All right, so I don't know, but I am super excited tonight. And I am always super excited when we having sessions like Men Talk. Men Talk. I'm seeing Anton John in the comment section. Welcome to you. And I'm seeing Nicholson. Welcome to you too. And so I'm going to encourage all of you who are viewing at this point in time to share this broadcast, especially to your ladies, whether it be your wives, your girlfriends, your sisters, whoever it is. And we are going to address some questions. And these questions were sent to me by ladies. And so, because it's like, guys, I didn't even know what to ask you. And so I decided to bring some of my friends on board. And maybe I'm anticipating a part 2 already for this segment. So gear yourself, gentlemen, right? All right, so so we're gonna get into it, and let me just introduce to you these special young men on the platform. Man, look at them, ladies. Just look at them. And I noticed there are many women there viewing. So Altia, welcome to you. Aveline, welcome. Hazel Mayers, welcome. There's a special welcome for Russell. I need to put this up. Well, Russell, definitely, I know you know this person.
Yes, that's my mom.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. Mrs. Mayers, welcome to you. Happy that you're here to listen to what your son have to say on this special Men Talk. And we have Tamika viewing too. Welcome, welcome Tamika. For those of you on YouTube, we kindly asking you can subscribe to my channel so that you can be notified when we have programs. And those on Facebook, you can like the page Issues in Focus with Shipiki. So you can basically go review that program and to see all the different episodes that we had. To Tonette Bowman Johnson, good night to you. And so with me this evening, I have 4 special young men. They're all my friends from university. And when I thought about this, this talk, my mind went on them right away. And you will understand for one reason or another during the course of the discourse. And so I'm going to introduce the most senior one in the midst. I am not certain if he's senior by age also, but I know he is senior in the sense that he is married, right? There's a saying among the guys, sometimes they joke about it. Boy, you know, you're a married man, you know, you big on it, you know things. And so let me introduce to you Johan Bob. And Johan is from Barbados. And so you will hear a little Bajan accent in between. Well, not in between, he's Bajan. And so Johan, we just want to say a special welcome to you. Johan, you're entering your final year in September.
Well, I am finishing in December, actually. So,
beautiful. Yeah. Proud of you. Congratulations in advance. All right. And Johan, of course, is not a stranger to the program. He was here before, I think once or twice, but I'm happy that he's here with us. And then we have sitting next to Johan, virtually, we have Russell James. And this is Russell's second time here with us. And those of you who know Russell very well, you know Russell, when it comes to putting up an argument when it comes to debating, that is Russell, right? He is graduating in the next 15 days. I was so happy when I saw it, when I saw that that flyer up, graduation in 15 days. And so happy for you. Congratulations on completing your BA here at the university. And at the bottom, sitting virtually on my left, I have with me Damien Benjamin. And Damien is from Anguilla. He is yeah, he's entering his third year. Yeah. Wow, time flies. Wow. He's entering his third year in September. And Damien is, oh well, of course he's at the university. Is his first official time on the panel, I must say. He came before, he came already, but his first official time in that sense. And Damien understand why I'm saying that. But welcome to you, and we are so, so happy that you are here with us. And sitting next to Damien, we have Gregson Boyce, not the first time on the program either. And Gregson is also from Barbados, and you will hear the deep voice, maybe one of the boys with the deepest voice on the platform. But Gregson, welcome to you. All right, gentlemen. So let's get straight into it. To those of you who just joined, we just want to say welcome to Okolo. Hi, Michaelo. Yes, the theology crew is here. We want to say welcome to Chanel too. So, and Mrs. Let me see. Yeah, Mrs. Evelyn Mayers too. Yes, her nephew Russell. Great. So nice. So let's get straight into it. So the first question asked, and by the way, these questions came from about 5, 6 ladies. And the ladies who are viewing, please feel free. You can put your questions in the chat if you have a question to ask. And we will see, we will try our utmost to address your question also. All right, so the first question. And these guys don't know what question I'll be asking them directly. Let me see which one to start from. All right, I like this one here. Let's just start on this one here. Why are some men, and the question ranges across, is not just relational topics, but some generic questions the ladies would have asked. But the first one, why is it that some men are afraid to express their true feelings to a young lady? Why is it that some men are afraid to express their true feelings to a young lady? And any one of you can begin, or you can give me my favorite part that I love doing, calling on you. So go right ahead. All right, I guess I'll do my favorite thing. Great. The guy with the deepest voice will begin. Gregson, boys, go right ahead.
Yeah, you've chosen the inexperienced man to go first. Nevertheless, I think, well, what I have to say is not set in stone. These are my opinions. So this is not a one rule. So I think it has to do with how guys were raised, what they think, how they process things. I've heard that it is, well, people have said, yes, I've heard that it is not a manly thing to do. That is to express emotions, express how you feel. But then again, now to think of it, it may not be something we do because we weren't taught to do it. So it all boils down to what we were taught, how we were raised, and maybe society has a part to play in that, how or what society said or says. So that is my opinion. I guess that somebody can jump on the bandwagon now. The bandwagon, sorry.
Yeah, I wanna join in my fellow Bajan. So far, he's hitting hard, hitting some good points there. I want to pick up on what he said or what he alluded to about not being taught to express self. That's one aspect, but I want to explore the aspect of being subjugated. Okay, when I say subjugated, or rather, being told to keep quiet, because when when I grew up, I was born in 1983. So that was a while ago compared to some of you guys here. But when I was coming up, I would always hear this deterrent in my head. Children are to be seen and not heard. Right? No, I want to translate that in now to us being males. So we all were born with the innate ability to express self, whether it be physical, or I should put it in two classifications: verbal or non-verbal. And in that way, you find then as you grew up as a male, you start to talk a bit. You would hear, "You talking too much. You talking too much. Only girls just talk like that." So you get in this stigma placed upon you that if you talk so much and you express yourself in the way you want to, you're being put in place like a woman, you know. And you grew up with that whole baggage put upon you. So then when you are in a situation, it's automatically know that you can express yourself how you want to. Sometimes the expression might not be verbal, but you end up expressing yourself maybe in a very negative way, which might instantly hurt the other person, hurt family members, hurt your spouse, hurt whoever, you know, and it goes like that.
Shibiki, if I
Excellent
may add,
point.
let me just first say good night to everyone who is viewing this lovely program tonight. I would suggest that you strap in because it's going to be a long, bumpy ride tonight. I want to agree with my colleagues and what they would have said with regards to um, that aspect of it. However, I want to take it from a different angle. I believe that the men, uh, some men, most, are afraid to express themselves because they're afraid of rejection. Do you know how it feels to approach a young lady, tell her how you feel, and then you get rejected? That's like Messi missing a penalty at the World Cup finals with like 2 seconds to go. So when
Messi
you
don't
look
make
at it,
finals.
yeah, I mean, so men are afraid of being rejected, and we have never learned how to deal with rejections. We're never taught how to deal with rejection, which goes back to what was said with Johan and Gregston, in that it's how we were culturalized, I would say,
Socialized.
how we were socialized, how we were brought up. We were never brought up dealing with issues and dealing with rejection and stuff like that. And so a lot of us rather just hold our views to ourselves.
Interesting. All right, for those of you who
And
just joined, we just want to say
ju-
welcome. Just before we take Damien's point, and so we are dealing with the question: why is it that some men are afraid to express their true feelings to a young woman? So just in case you are not following the question, I just wanted to reiterate that. Go right ahead, Damien.
all right, good night, everyone. This was a nice question to start off with, and I must agree with everyone. I because that's a thought I had. Men, especially in a Caribbean context, we were not brought up and you're not taught on how to deal with emotions, how to speak about certain things, how to deal with something when you're sad, you understand, when you're depressed, how do you go about it and speaking about it, who do you talk to? And most of the time growing up in a Caribbean home, there's as a young man there's nobody to talk to on that level. So you just find, and then to add to that is that when you, because of your upbringing in the society, when you do express your feelings, you're looked upon as someone who's weak. And the last and another point is that a man does not want to feel like he's vulnerable. You understand? And if I express myself to you, it's like some men, especially in the beginning of a relationship, I don't know you that much enough to say certain things, or you might end up telling somebody else, and then that person tells somebody else, and then it just go down the road. So as a result, we're gonna keep it to ourselves. And but just to add to that, I don't know if this will be something that come up later, but that can issues can arise from that inner relationship when we are afraid to speak about certain things, because you'll have an issue at hand, and it's like you have a cut or sore, and you just put a patch on it, and you don't deal with the issue at hand, you just cover it up. And then what, as a result, you'll find that the relationship will be deteriorating. And because the man does not know how to address the issue at hand, he does not know how to speak to his emotions. So, but those are my reasons, and I think there are more reasons why men are afraid to speak about their emotions. But for now, those are the ones I just want to highlight. Um, and with men, being afraid to, I don't think it has to do. I mean, a part of it is us being a man, the masculinity of it. You just gotta be a man and just hold in things. We don't express too much. That's just who we are. But a major part of it is just our upbringing, I believe.
Yeah.
All
Thank you
right,
very much
before
for all your
you,
submissions. Yeah, go ahead, Gregson.
well, I feel to open a can of worms. I don't know if I should.
Go right
But
ahead.
there's the question we're dealing with. Why don't men uh, say what they're feeling, express their what they're feeling? But then there are men who do, and they are quite not out of timing. They don't do a good job. I believe in communicating, but what I have learned in the past few months is that it is definitely not how you say it, but what you it's not what you say, but how you say it. And then I have to go back now and consider things like, are you rushing things? Yeah, because what I've realized, what I've learned as well, is that women they like friendships. So if you come with your hot and sweaty self trying to push something, they about that. They want to know that they have a friend first, and then
Yeah.
after you've built a good friendship, and I believe you should know when the time is right to say, "Hey, I like you A B C D E F G." But when you come and after a week or two or three, you say, "Yeah, no, sir, no, that's trouble. That's trouble there." So it is good to express our feelings, but you have to know when, where, and how. And it's good to build a friendship first. So on the one hand, we have those who don't express. On the other hand, we have those who express and run themselves in trouble because the timing was bad, the wrong time, wrong place, everything was wrong. So then they crash and they burn, and that's what I have to say on that.
All right, thank you,
Um,
Greg. I
And
realized you really
just
I
opened a can. Hold, guys. I realized that, wait, you opened a can of worms. When I saw Yuan microphone went, and I was like, okay, Yuan ready to speak. Russell was saying like, hey, Greg, hurry up. I'm ready to speak on this. Damon, you gotta wait, eh? We got your signal last. So I'm gonna take Yuan, then I'm gonna take Russ, and then I'm gonna come back to you, Damien. Go right ahead, Yuan.
but Gregston, you said something there that I want to pick out. Two things you mentioned. Um, One is timing, right? And I think the other one, well, your point was really speaking of persons who express themselves and do it in the wrong way. But my
Yes.
question is, and I figure this is a lone lady, and here the ladies could respond. I know it's men talk, but how do you know in communicating and expressing stuff? How do you know when is the right
Hmm.
time? Because I've been in situations before, right? Thank God I'm married, now I don't have to deal with that anymore. But I've been in situations before when you see a girl and you're like, yo,
Hmm.
let me check this thing here. Everything going good for the first week, second week, third week, and it's
Hmm.
like she's so friendly and she's so like every time looking for, and then all of a sudden, I gotta tell you something though. I check you for a while and thing, and I think it's time to make that move though. But anyway, maybe the dating rules have changed now since I've been on the game, but but I mean, yeah, and the female might take it as like, but I ain't about that, as Gregson was saying, I ain't about that right now. But all the body language and everything was showing you that it is that time. But when you come and peak now, you express how you feel. It's like you go right down into friend zone, you know. So I mean, how you know when's the right time to express self?
Good question.
I'm very sorry for you guys, but the game has not changed, and the game will never change. If you don't know what time is the right time, you will always find yourself in trouble. What I believe, and just to piggyback on what Greg Stan was saying and to make my view, there are two ends of the spectrum. There's the person who does not speak at all, and there's the person who speaks too quickly and too much. You have to find that balance.
Yeah.
And when you find the balance, you will find the time. Johan, I was going to ask you, they say not to ask questions, not to answer a question with a question, but I wanted to ask you a question. If you did not know the right time, then you would not be married because you would not have known the correct time to go down on your knees and ask for the young lady's hand in marriage. If you went too quickly, she may have shut you off and tell you, no, I'm not ready for that. Whereas if you went too late, she might say, listen, you just have me wasting my years, you know? So finding that balance in that whole scheme. And like Damien would have said before, you have to, we were not cultured to do that. And so as young men in the Caribbean at this point in time, what we're trying to do now is to fix what our father never taught us. So when you get that, when you fix that, make sure when you have your sons, you teach them.
Beautiful. You want to realize your microphone went on. You have a point, something to refute.
No, I was answering something that Russell asked. I know it was not really like a question to answer, but just to retort, communication was key. Keywords came out,
Definitely.
key expressions came out. By this time, by that time, and you pick up on those things, you know, and then you know when to,
That's the point, boy.
you
That's the
know.
point. I love that. Okay, Damien, now the floor is all yours.
You make it like I got some big point to make. I don't know. So I just wanted to add to the discussion. Sometimes there's something about us in our past that happened, and if we start to express ourselves and our emotions, that deep, whether it's hot or something that we do not want, anyone to know, because we start to express our emotions, it will come out. And when it comes out and in the eyes of a female, she might say to herself, okay, there's some things you need to change about you because this I didn't know. So as a result of not, allowing this to come out, whatever it may be, we tend to just be silent, lay low, because when we start to express and get into our emotions, you understand, that deep part of us may come out, and it may be something that it may be a ton after the female, and as a result, the man just stay away from expressing his emotions.
Excellent submission. Well, I need to go to the comment section because the comment section is lit right now. So I'm going to take Anton. Anton has a comment directly in reference to what Gregson would have raised there and what you guys would have said. And he says this, to add some women friendship or friendliness, send off miscommunication and makes you feel it's a time to make the move. All along, she just wanted friendship. Guys, yeah, I totally believe that. But trust me, many times as ladies, we would communicate certain things to you. I mean, some women just on the playground where they're just really playing, right? But many times we will communicate. If you there's subtle things we will say, listen intently to a woman's conversation. Whatever she says to you, the question she asks you, and that gives you an inch or a clue in terms of her timings. But I know indeed that some women just want friendship, bro, and you have to ask questions too. And if you don't ask us the relevant question, because I mean, you meet some guys, they're great guys to be friends with, but they're not great guys to be in a relationship with. But if they don't ask us some questions, you would not know how we feel towards you guys. You don't have to come out directly, girl, we've been friends, so I really like you don't have to say that. But you can say certain things to us, and then from that conversation you will hear you, oh yeah, you're a great guy, but you see, you're not really the type of guy I'm really looking for. Girls will say certain things, well, at least for me, and you will get your information. And one of the things I do as a woman too, if I realize that, hey, this guy is really into me, he hasn't said anything as yet, I'm going to deliberately flip the script and let him know that friendship, but not to let him know that, hey, I read your action and I realize that you're into me, but I am not into you at this point in time. But I say certain things to him, I would ask certain questions, and then you will be able to get some responses. I'm the only female here, so I can't really talk too much because we don't have too many women here. We'll have another time, we'll have our ladies chatting. So Talisha would have said this. Anton know this with there. Sometimes past experiences have a lot to do with it. Sometimes women are uncertain as well. Very true. While some women are just all about the game. Exactly my point. And that is why we pride ourselves in friendship. Yes, we have our infatuation going on. Yes, we have our crushes going on and things like that. But we pride ourselves in friendship because why? You will get to know, and as time progresses, you get to know, hey, definitely this guy is okay, or no, 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 no. So I'll be very happy the females who are in the chat, if there's certain things that are raised, feel free to make your comments so that you can add to this discussion also. Oh, there's so many other comments that went. Let me see. All right, going forward, I have to start putting up comments as we go forward. I love this comment by Tilisha. This is an encouragement to you guys. Thanks to these gentlemen for keeping it real. It is one thing to know the problem. It is a whole other thing to start addressing it positively and correcting it consistently. So thanks for that encouragement on behalf of my wonderful the males who are here. Oh my! So we have we want to say welcome to Rafi Thomas and Marinella Glasgow. So here is Marinella's point. But isn't it fair for the female to know what the issue may be? At Damien, Damien, you heard this? But isn't it fair for the female to know what the issue may be? At Damien, while what you say is a good point, if you desire to establish a relationship with someone, then you surely must be able to be open, even if you may not be the ideal. If there's a real interest, the female will be willing to work with you.
And I believe the key word there is if. If there's a real interest, you understand?
Wow.
So I must be certain in my mind that there is an interest. If I'm not certain in my mind, then I'm not. And for man, a man will take a bit longer to open up than a woman. So, for example, that particular issue, you might not get to know about it until marriage. Sad but true. You understand? And that's just because of who the man is. But I kind of agree with Marinella Glasgow,
Yeah.
right? But if I'm not certain, and I'll say this to men, if you're not certain, do not force it. Do not lead on the female, and you know in deep down you are not open and real with the female. Do not go into the relationship, with these, hidden things about yourself that might be a detriment to the relationship. You understand? Because at the end of the day, whose fault will it be now when your relationship start to go down the drain? So I think that there needs to be level of intention when you're getting to know someone, know where you're at in the relationship. So as a result of knowing where you're at, you'll start to discuss certain things and start to be open with certain things. Because when you're on the same page, because if I don't know where you be and you don't know where I be, then that would put both of us in a position where we are just keeping things from each other. But if we are open and saying, okay, I believe from here onward that this should be our aim, this should be our focus, this is what we should
Yeah.
work on, since we are moving in this direction. You understand? So sometimes a lot of these issues does be a lack of communication, and what happens when there's a lack of communication? Chaos.
Beautiful. And this is
Also,
where
Damien,
okay, go ahead.
sorry, Shabi, sorry, Shabiki.
No,
Also,
go
there
ahead.
is
Seeing that
You
you're
see what
adding on
Russell
that point.
also I
you
want
see
to
what
add.
Russell said about the one question?
Also, I want
I
to
know,
add.
right?
I want to add that this might come off wrong, but I will say it nonetheless because that's just who I am. Some young ladies can't handle the truth about
Like
the
some men.
individual that they have interest in. And so as a young man, you have to be very wise and tactful as to how you relate information about yourself. You're not holding back information. There's a big difference. You're not holding back things about yourself, right? Because you're trying to be smart and you're trying to, win the young lady over being someone that you're not. However, you have to be very careful how you disclose information about yourself. And like Damien would have said, you have to have that level of communication, that level of knowing that, listen, this is where the relationship is, so I can disclose XYZ about myself at this particular point in time. Because sometimes you go and you drop all the information about yourself. The young lady don't need to know you used to smoke weed.
She's not a
She
counselor.
don't need to know that. She like Johan said, she's not a guidance counselor, right? You're looking for a partner. You're not looking for a counselor. Big difference.
But
So
Russell,
I
don't you think that is a pertinent question or a pertinent information for me to receive? If I
No,
am dating a man who was in that past, oh, okay, I shouldn't know. So what if I decided to somebody which reaches me and say, hey, you know that Wexon used to smoke? And I'm like, no, he never told me that we discussed
I
past already.
so you
Shubiki,
didn't. You discussed past, but you didn't discuss all the past. Even when you're
I
married,
kind of
Shibiki, there will be things that you have not discovered about your husband.
True.
So really and truly, like
I
I'm
wanna
saying, it's not that
I
I'm
wanna
saying
jump
that you
on here though.
hold back. Sorry, let me I will allow your hand to go.
No. I kind of old school, right? With this whole idea of revealing information. What's the intent of how far this relationship going? And how much information are you revealing? In that, if this relationship belly up and this woman is a cantankerous woman, this woman could take your information and spoil your life. So I mean, there must be increments of information. There must be a trust level in giving this information. Because as I said, if this relationship goes haywire, I'm not saying all women do this, but you know who you're dealing with. This may go very south. My wife said to me when we first dated, she does not want to be blindsided further in the relationship. We saw that we were coming to the point of getting married. And as things went on, we start to say certain things that probably not even our own parents know about ourselves, if you get what I'm saying. And still, we
Yeah.
still learning about each other in marriage. Someone just mentioned marriage. Still, we still learning little things bit by bit. And the sort of wife I have, she is very open to hearing my stuff and not bottle it inside as in like, you used to do that? No. She sees it, and if there's a situation where I can be helped, she don't judge me. She's be like, okay, Johan, we can do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and vice versa.
Beautiful. Damien, I realize you had a point to make. You can go ahead.
No, we will continue because this question seems like it's gonna be the question of the night. But yeah, we can continue.
All right. So I welcome to all those individuals who would have joined after our first official welcome. But let me just on this trust issue, Russell, I really don't agree with you, especially if the I don't believe in revealing everything at the very onset of a relationship. You don't know if this relationship will go anywhere. So it's important not to be doing too much disclosure at the very onset. But there's certain important things that you have to tell me as a woman if you're dating. Look what Nicola said here. She went out with this guy. Let me just put up this comment here, and some of the guys also would have commented on the same issue of trust. I was
Oh,
okay. I have to put back her first comment. Good. She went out with a guy twice, and thankfully he disclosed to her that after the second date that he was divorced and had kids. Right? The second aspect of it says, she was grateful that he told me earlier because it was important for me to know since that is my limit. I was honest with him and told him how I felt, and I appreciated his honesty. Oh, bro, I appreciate a man who comes and he explains to me, here what should be. I was not this good guy that you are seeing right now. I did X, Y, and Z in my past. It is up to me to decide whether I want to proceed with that. Because as Anton rightly said this, where is it? I'm going to bring up the point. Something about the trust issue. There's so many comments, so I'm kind of okay. Let me get it. Mouse, please behave tonight. Okay, great. So let's listen to this. Um, if later on she found out about your past, it then create trust issues. You know why I agree with this comment? Because dealing with depends on who is the young woman you're dating with. There's certain all of us have our no-nos in our books that we will not tolerate, whether it be an individual's past or whether it be an individual present. There's some things that we will not even go ahead and date an individual if they were involved in. That's everybody's opinion. Nobody can debate that. If a man hears my past and say, hey, what should we keep? I think your past is too terrible. I don't want to date you. I cannot be annoyed with that. The point is, I told him the truth. I was honest about it. It is his decision now. I don't want
right.
when you see he's walking, I'm walking with my husband, and next you know, a man gonna reach he on the road and say X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, when he asked me about it, I didn't think it was important for me to mention that to you. Like, oh, come on.
So Shibigi, now there are certain things that are a must. If a man is married with children and he divorces and he goes out like Sister Bab's situation there, Sister Reef Bab, you have to disclose that because you're talking about a whole man who was married and divorced and children and all that.
Yeah.
But there are some things. Let us be frank. There are some things in your life that you only tell Jesus. You would never disclose certain things to anybody but God. So
I understand that.
right. So in essence, there's some things about yourself that you just hold to yourself.
And
You
on
will
that note,
never
Russell,
fully disclose yourself to any human being.
totally
Therefore,
agree.
what I was saying is that again, we take the relationship in increments. So you reveal yourself as time go on. It's how God deals with us, you know. God reveals himself to us
Right,
as we
right,
get
right.
closer to him.
Because we can tap
God,
on that
if
2 point.
God were to just show up and now I'm using God. If God were to just show us his full glory, we'll die. Similarly, if you show a girl your full glory, the relationship might die.
But
Come on now, preach
listen,
it. Preach it.
but listen to me. Nah, I don't like that
Okay,
analogy. I don't
that's it.
like it. I
Okay,
don't like it. I don't like it. But
we can
listen
get
to
in
me. Listen
different
to
mood.
this. Guys, listen to this. Anything that has been public should be made known to your partner in a relationship. Smoking is a public affair. Should be
No,
made known to your
no.
partner.
A guy
It's a
smoking is
pub
not a public affair.
in a
I
lot of
know
let me
cases,
guys who
unless
let
it's
me
have
in the
smoked.
court.
No, she
Oh,
let me
those are the
no.
speak to
bedroom
I don't
smokers.
agree. I don't
let me
agree.
let me speak to that from a different angle though. When it comes to the
Go there,
smoking,
yeah.
being you are addicted to alcohol, right? because you're in a relationship, the female might sense certain behavioral patterns. You
Yeah,
understand? And she might be able to, being in a relationship, being someone who's educating herself continually and so on, she might be able to say, this is a result of his past. And as a result of being able to detect that now, she'll say, okay, I think, we need to, probably pay a visit to doctor, someone who will be able to deal with the matter at hand. You understand? So when you're open with certain things, it for me, I agree with Russell in a sense, it ain't everything you can come up with, but you know, it comes with a level of wisdom that you should be able to reveal certain things to your partner, because at the end of the day, she might be able to realize certain things about you and may help you to grow and move from one level to the next
definitely.
just because of the knowledge she receive about you.
Exactly.
And
Valid
it, and it,
point.
and
And so,
it all comes down to the partner, that you know the partner that you have, and how you can say
exactly.
certain things to this person without having some type of retribution. And I mean, that's the whole thing of love. And you must always see, for me, this is me, you must always see an attribute of God's love in your partner, because you could go to God and tell him anything, and God still
Yeah,
loves you despite. Yes, there's some people who behave a particular way, you say something to them, but if I review myself to a lady who I've realized her pattern is this: she's not judgmental, she's not this way, she doesn't treat me any different than who I was. She probably be disappointed in this thing. But after that, it is, let's see how we can correct it, or I'm glad you told me this. But everyone's not the same way, but you'll have to see these things coming out in your partner.
beautiful. All right. Seeing that we are on this is I don't this is a very, you see this question here? It means that it's a troubling issue in
Yeah,
relationships
boy.
right now.
Woo.
And that's why we have to talk. I don't mind. There's a part two to this program coming sometime next month, because the rest of May month program is already planned. So don't worry. Next month, God's Prayer Life, there will be a part two to this question. But here what? I want you guys, let me just put up some of these comments from our audience, and then I'm gonna piggyback on no, not really piggyback, but I want to ask you another question. Brainstorm for me and let us know, as females, what are some things that you think are very open to share, and what are some things that you think are very be concealed? As Anton says this, you can put all on the table early, but when you realize this is a one, it is a good thing to put everything on the table and be open with each other. Let me share an example with this. I was dating somebody, right? And we were at the point of self-disclosure, and we were saying, okay, I heard about his past, and I was very what should I say, closed about it, because in my mind, who I dated in the past really none of your business, right? But he was looking at it in the perspective that okay, I don't want, if when I go on the road, or if I'm with you and somebody who we would have dated anyway, somebody who we would have dated anyway. It so happened that somebody called me the same time. This is somebody I am getting to know and everything. Somebody then decided to call me on my phone. And sometimes you have the phone. The guy was sitting right next to me, and I have my phone. And the person said hello and called the other guy who I was talking with. We never really, well, you got to basically, I wouldn't really call it dating, but it was a friend of mine. So a few persons know that we were talking, but we were not in a relationship. And so this person who called me decided to call, let's just say, I don't want to use any one of you guys' name here. Let us just say, let me see, my mother's surname is, maiden name is Douglas. Let me use that name to be on the safe page. um, hello, Mrs. Douglas. How are you doing? The guy sitting right next to me, the night before, I would have disclosed to the guy some persons who I would have liked, and some persons who I would have dated. I would have disclosed that. I was pondering whether to mention this particular name or not, because I know that this guy knows this individual. And so I didn't want to make it an uneasy situation for him if he sees me talking to the guy, that he feels uncomfortable. So I was in my mind, I'm like, I would not reveal this particular name, but I decided to. And when that person called me and said, "Hey, Mrs. Douglas," he looked at me. But I already had told him about this guy. Boy, I never felt so terrible yet. You know why? This was something I was planning to hide. And the next day, he would have heard. Think about that immediate distrust. You and this guy didn't date, so what if you and this guy used to talk? And I was able to, when we came off the phone, he was like, "Okay, interesting." I said, "Well, I told you about him." And that was the end of that conversation. Imagine that it's just a little matter. Think about the bigger issues that we have to deal with that many times end up with people being complete distrust, especially when you started a new relationship. Ah, let us be very careful of that. Anyway, let me go to some other comments. That's just my side story. Um, Danny says this: "I think it's important we know at what point of relationship we reveal certain information of ourselves, especially concerning our past. There must be some level of trust and more so of an understanding." Um, and Sister Craig says this: "The past is the past, and it's only important. This is key. It's only important as far as the effect it will have on the future." And many times we don't look at this part, the future part of it, We look at present, that is it. Let me see if I have some other comments on this. Let me see. Oh, yes. Well, so Karen is here. Welcome, Karen DeMatos. So this is what Karen has to say. Okay, I agree with Russell and Bob. At the initial stage of the relationship, which should be the friendship, getting to know you stage, there are basic information that you share, correct? As your relationship progresses to the other stage, you will share some final details of your life, correct? Now, if you have a past that you know if come to light will have a negative effect on your relationship, you should let your partner know upfront. Excellent submission, Karen. Very nice. And Nicola said this. So Nicola, I want you to answer me. You could type this answer in this question. Did you want to hear it on your first date, or did you expect to hear it long after? But she said she couldn't believe that the guy was telling her that on his second date. And then Pastor Brandon says this: self-disclosure to a great degree creates for one's security, yep, comfort, and trust. And hi, Mataran, good to have you. Mataran says this: the past is not only the past, it sets the tone. Oh my gosh, I love this point. For the present, which then affects the future. Any type of analysis includes the past. That is why history is important. Thank you very much. Great. So, gentlemen.
He's a philosopher.
Oh yeah, he would have wrote the book. Kevin, could you remind me about the book that you would have written? He wrote a book the other day, published it. He came on my program once, and I'm happy that he's tuning in with us. And as Danielle rightly said, indeed, some things will eventually come up back. And this is the dangerous part. When things come up back and then everybody's like, I didn't see it as important. And people, and listen, I'm learning self-disclosure. You know why? My mommy always told us as females, some things are better left unsaid. And I agree with her 100%. But when you analyze it, that if it will have any future repercussion, hey, reveal it if you may, as to whether what stage in the relationship you think it is best for that. So Nicola responds to my question: the first date, even though it makes for awkward conversation, give me the opportunity to make an informed decision. I noticed Damien shaking his head. Damien, you think it's wrong for the man to reveal that information on the first date?
I wouldn't say it's wrong, but going to the statement that Kevin made about the past setting the tone for the present, that will be, that'll happen very quick in this case if it's on a first date. But whereas if it's a second date, then the woman might have a little, Simply because, okay, we've been around for a while, but the first date, she done pitch out the door one time. So it's like, the first date rough.
Damien,
Well, I'm sure
if
that
my
there's at
second
least
date is
one
a month
person.
after or 2 months after your first date, you mesmerize me so
Nah,
much, and
a
all
Why
the
month,
so
time
a
I'm
long
month
after?
after.
thinking, and
Why so
Nah,
long
not a
after?
I'm
month,
just
TBK.
I'm just saying,
If a man
okay,
interested,
it's
it ain't
never
a
That
month
don't
time.
after.
sound realistic. No man. he
Well,
wants you next week.
Chibiki, at least there's actually one person here on the program who was happy that self-disclosure took place.
You ain't easy, yeah? Cut me some slack now. Yeah, I like how the conversation is going because should be killed since she's dropped out there. Okay,
Yeah, so
continue.
my internet goes and comes now and then. Yeah, but I was so happy. Let me tell you something. Yeah, that made my day. That made my day. Yeah, the book that he would have written is Purpose Driven Life. For those of you who are viewing, you can find it on Facebook, on Amazon, and feel free to order it. Purpose Driven Life. Beautiful. He would have explored it on the program and everything. All right, great. So that was a lot for the first question. Wow. Now I think I'll maybe take one more question and we just end the program after the second question because it seems as if we need to talk about these issues. So even if it's a part three, come whenever, we don't mind. So the second question, and ladies, if you have, all right, Dylan,
The second question might put us in some trouble. So you all get ready.
Dylan,
Preston, you get
Dylan
ready.
asked a question there, boy. I
Who?
tell you.
Getting hot in here, boy.
Dylan
Getting
Basil.
hot.
Where's the question?
Dylan asks, what do the first and second date means, though, in the Caribbean terms?
What the
First and
first and
second date
second
means
date?
in the Caribbean terms?
In
Yeah,
Caribbean terms, we got the terminology of dating incorrect.
Right. That is the first thing.
That's the
Our
first step
our
we had to look at.
yeah. Our concept of dating is thwarted. And so because it is thwarted, it suggests that when you go on when you go on a date with somebody, you're already in a relationship with them. So you're
And
dating them.
and and
But
it's
really and
expected
truly,
that you it's
okay.
expected
and
you continue
yes,
talking with that same person. That's the
correct.
context that we or the belief that we have
Right.
here. But dating, I
interest,
mean,
yeah.
people would say, "Oh, we shouldn't go by North American dictates," but that's where it came from. But nevertheless, I could be dating Nicole Sheen, another girl, for lack of namesake, and that's a pool that you have of dating. And oh, that pool, there must be somebody
Mercy,
that
Lord.
fits the mold that you could work with, or
Yeah,
that
but
person could work with you. But in the Caribbean, as you're doing
Johan,
that,
Johan,
your hands a slut boy. He's a whore boy. Oh, he checking so much gal out one time.
and
Yes.
not only that, Johan, which woman
Mm-hmm.
gonna allow you dating in the Caribbean to be speaking more to more than one woman at a time?
No, you see,
You
Pressure.
think a woman, even if you, but it goes back to the point that Russell make. Our view of dating is distorted. So the woman, and she herself, have this distorted view. So as a result, you're not allowed to be speaking to another, even though we are just friends, we are just talking, because she'll see that as like you getting involved with somebody else, and we are just
no,
dating.
but you can't just blame the young lady because we're talking about men here. We're not talking about young
Yeah,
ladies. When the
yeah,
young
yeah,
ladies come,
yeah.
they will
Okay,
handle
all
their
right.
situation. We're talking
Let's move to
about
the
men.
next question.
Now, let me answer this quickly before we move on. If you want to play shatter and lock down everybody daughter and go on and date them, and giving them false sense of security and false hope,
That's
then
different, Russell.
naturally you're creating a problem. But if you are going and you say, all right, how about we go and eat tonight and we go and talk about, hey, how is school, how this, how that, and not trying to get to
To settle
a
in.
place where the person start to get attached to you emotionally and all these things, then we have a different view in mind. But the way how we
Yeah.
operate is like, you see a young lady, but I like her, so you lock her down and
Mm-hmm.
you dating her, so you're exclusive dating already, and then you see a next young lady and like, yeah, I like her. No, you're playing
Fresh
shatter.
vibes. Fresh
You
You're
see
fresh
the
vibes.
issue,
shatter.
Russell, right? The issue that men have when it comes to dating, a man, well, I don't know if I'm speaking for most men, but at times men do not know how to get to know a female without leading her on then.
Okay.
Without knowing
That is
her.
the problem.
You understand? Well,
Yeah.
yeah, you understand? So what men tend to do is lead a female down a certain road and then to realize that it's a dead end. You understand? And then what we're gonna
Exactly.
say? We were just dating. So what men need to do is, if you see a female, there are ways to get to know female without her even knowing that you're getting to know.
What
Definitely,
is your
When,
Damien.
when,
the
and,
question
and when,
100%
was
and
agree
when I
with that.
say that, I mean because now you want to know if this is someone that, okay, should I really take it a notch up? You understand, in terms of letting her know this, asking her out, certain things. You understand, there's certain foundational principles, certain things you want to look for
mm-hmm.
in the beginning in getting to know this person. Like in our context at school, uh, 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 I don't know, going to a function together, meeting at a function. You know she's gonna be there, but you just don't be there. You could
Drama
observe
fest. Drama
you could
fest. We
observe.
could pray.
Okay. You could observe her behavior. You could
Sorry, audience. That's a laughing moment. That's a laughing moment. But we all
That's
know,
a
you
Damien,
theology
you can
joke.
hardly date at
right.
USC. You can date at
You
USC.
you could observe.
Oh boy.
Anyways, you could observe. And this goes both ways. A male or female, you know, and just observe her behavior. And there's certain things that she will be doing. There's certain conversations she will be a part of, and after that, you will know that this is someone you don't want to get involved in. But
That's right.
you will see these things and still lead on the female, knowing that it would not go anywhere.
That's the thing.
But
That's the
Damien,
danger part.
I want to jump in there, right, and say this: when you are dating, I will use that word, or actually after you're dating, and you come to the point of courtship, what your intentions are. You gotta ask yourself now, what are my intentions with this young lady? Now, if you can see that your intentions are true and pure, I don't think you will have a chance to lead on this person. But if you go into the whole situation without having particular intentions. When I mean intentions, I don't mean negative intentions, because some men, yeah, my intention is to just trash and smash and go, but or to look a certain way because of a certain girl. But what are my truest intentions? Is she someone I could settle down with? Is she a person that that if this person one I could go through my life with? And if it is that's the case, if it's not the case, you need to put the brakes on. But even if you know that that's the if you know that you're gonna waste this person time, ease off. I think that's the best thing to do. Ease off, so you won't
Thank you
lead
very
on this
much.
person.
Johan, for me,
Yes,
this could be
sir.
an all nighter, and I'll just allow the moderator to continue
That's
the
right. That's
program,
right.
because for me
That's right.
personally, this particular topic could go on for a bit, because like you say, dating, when when you have this notion in your mind that we are dating, because the thing with a man is, at times he's not looking years ahead. He's not looking in the long run. So as a result of not looking in the long run and looking short term, he will behave as somebody who's just there for short term.
I disagree with you at some point there. I think that's a very that statement It's not a general statement, you know.
Subjective.
Everybody different. It's very subjective. Everybody different. There are men, especially maturity levels of men. There are guys that are
Which I
your age
agree.
that know what they want in life already. They know what they want in life already. They got some guys. I can be honest with myself. I peak late. That's the truth. I don't care what nobody say. I peak late, and I am happy that I peak late. However, you have to know your development stage. You know, what's your real intention? So I mean, that's why I disagree at that level. It's a little subjective, but hey, you continue.
Go ahead,
Hmm.
Miss Moderator. Take over.
No, I'm just enjoying it because the reason why I'm enjoying this particular issue because many of us women, it's a concern for women. Because why? Men, as Karen rightly put it this way, dating 3 or 4 women at a time is not the issue. The issue comes when you start telling them and you start giving all of them hope of a future relationship with you. And indeed, as somebody would have alluded to, I can't remember which one of you would have mentioned it before, that we just don't know how to date. So if you talking with me and then you talking with Sheila and you talking with Pam and everybody you saying the same thing, especially for those of you at university, all of us know USC setting. You start talking with one girl and people see you with her, and then the worst thing about it, you're dating, you getting to know people. You spending nights with them. You going out, you coming in late with them, or you're getting to know.
Fun,
And it's two,
funny
two,
step.
3 person on the step. You're telling me on a public step. Come on, some of you guys, some guys in our context needs to get to know women on the phone
You know,
and do your
scope.
vid and yeah, just message her on the phone.
Gnosco.
The phone. So we got to be
So
very careful with that, and this is where
so
the
you're
concern lies. And
so
yes,
you're
Joanne, go
saying that
ahead.
you're saying that the way how we do it, it seems that we do it in a public setting. It sets up you to fall. It sets up you for a fall of being labeled as a I want to use it. How should I use the word? It labels you as a quote unquote a slut, or who are you going about all these different women, a womanizer. But if you say do it in your home, it's more and do it on the phone is more private. That it doesn't get to that level. That's what you're saying. I'm trying to
You
understand.
get to you remember you getting to know somebody, right?
Yeah,
You, as Damien rightly would have mentioned, the observation. You're a different session with
yeah,
this person. We have so many clubs at
yeah.
school and everything. So you get to know
Right.
persons in that setting. Look how many times sometimes guys will stop. We standing up right at Larry Lester. We stand there, we talk.
Yeah.
But
As a
if you
spot.
are getting to know, that's a spot. But if you're getting to know 3, 4 persons, and then nighttime, we talking about 8 o'clock in the night. You're sitting outside. You're sitting in one of the dark corners. Tonight you're with me. Tomorrow night, because you're getting to know Sheila too. Tomorrow night we see you in front of Larry. So this is that day now. This is
Hmm.
night. Then the next day you had a late class. You're in admin building in a dark corner. In our minds is, well, what are you saying? But in your mind, you said, I am dating. I am getting to know
Yeah,
this
yeah,
person.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the how you do it, the where you do it, the
So being
what
discreet.
you
So being
say.
discreet.
Exactly my point.
Okay,
So
okay.
if a guy, because for example, for the average woman, she may not be dating several persons at the same time because why? When she does her observation and she is friend with you and everything, by then she knows who she will tolerate to message her or not. I just have a policy. If I'm not interested in a guy, I talk to you during the day. Yes. I may talk to you during the night. Yes, because of the fact, okay, we're friends. I see a few things that I appreciate about you. But then when it goes beyond, it's like going out with you would be a no-no for me because I know in my mind I am not even that, right? Because why? I have not found you to be at a place where I am comfortable going out. But a man
So
in a
no
man's
correct for
mind, it's
doubles.
different. No cure
No
for
correct for
doubles. No
doubles.
doubles. No doubles. No doubles. I see Damien sitting there shaking his head. So we move on because I know everybody's context is different as it relates to this particular aspect. Damien, you're my
Let
friend,
me
so
let me just say that men and women, well, it's men talk, but both parties just need to set boundaries. You understand?
correct.
And when you establish these boundaries, respect the boundaries. And in that way, even though you and that female will never go to the next stage, at least the friendship will be a lasting friendship because there was no level of distrust. I didn't lead you on, I didn't lead you down a road. You understand? Many times what you find is that individuals become friends, and because one party was led on and it didn't work out, how all of a sudden we can't be friends no longer because it didn't work out? Which means that boundaries were broken, you understand, and there was a level of distrust, and as a result, we can't be friends no longer. So I just think boundaries need to be set, and as a result, no hearts will be broken, and life will go on.
We were close on your summation. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. All right. So our final question for this evening. This is interesting. This is the first history making program on Issues in Focus that at 7:39 we only dealt with one official question. But the point is, it was a solid question and it needed to be discussed.
But Russell
it shows that men have a lot to say. It shows that men have a lot to say.
Yeah,
Despite
when you guys are
be
given the
quiet and not
opportunity.
speak, we have a lot to say.
Finally, we are expressing ourselves.
Finally. All right, there's this one I want to ask about age. What is your take? And this question, of course, came from a young woman. What is your take on dating a woman who is younger than, well, in our context is younger, right? But who may be older than you? What is your take on dating a woman who is older than you?
I think we should let the youngest man speak.
Well, if that's the case, that is me then. And I was silent. I was silent just now because I was soaking in everything and processing everything because I am very inexperienced. So I thought it'd be wise to just shut up and listen.
Greg, so when you're ready to get married, please invite me, right? Even
Sure.
if it's 10 years down the line, please invite me.
I'll send you the link because that's where we're going now. So to answer your question, this is Gregston. I like older women. But the record.
How old is old for you, Gregston? How many years are we looking?
5 years the most.
Maximum.
But the record has shown that me and older women. I think I put my hat.
This is an inexperienced man speaking, eh?
Weak. I think I put my hat too far there. I don't think I am mature in some aspects and mature in many aspects. So I'm Gregson. I don't think that will be. As a matter of fact, now I'm saying it. Women, everybody's different. So it might be the case I have not met that woman, the mature woman who's willing to work. Some women don't want to go through that. That is fine. But I tend to like older women because I think I know what I want. And I think they should know what they want. So, yeah. But 5 years older is my cutoff point. And in terms of going down the ladder, maybe the same 5, 6, maybe.
So, Gregson, answer me this one question. I think you mentioned a portion of it. Is it mainly because older women, we know what we want? That is why you prefer?
That has a big part to do with it.
Any other reason?
No.
Okay. All right. Ladies, those who are listening. I see Obioma Blair. She's looking. All right.
I'm
nice.
young, eh?
but if older women, if you say older women know what they want, in that sentence alone, is it that they want a younger man who's
let me know what that
who is less mature to then train them in the way that they should go and that they will not depart from it? Is it to say
I'm glad you opened that worms. It turned out that is not the case. That is not the case. They're not looking for somebody.
But why do I sense that this is a kind of a personal attack, though?
Yeah, I wonder because this is a subjective question. There is
no. It's not.
It is a good question.
Honestly, it's
This is a
not a
good
personal
question.
attack. It's
You
something
This is a
open
good
I
a
was
question.
thinking about just now. He opened a can of worms, so
no,
I
it's a
wanted to
bait.
be facetious
I
there.
guess he opened a Bajan juice. That's a zest that he opened.
What was
No,
the question again,
So,
Johan?
what I gathered though from this
Yeah.
conversation, I find that there are guys who want older women because there is a motherly aspect that comes along with that aspect of having an older woman who should know how to cook, how to wash, how to do all these different things, and then because looking at their age group, especially today's society, I'm not, by the way, any of you younger ladies out there, I'm not throwing any shade, but you find a lot of younger ladies these days don't know how to do these basic things. The only thing a lot of these ladies have in their hand is this. I can get licks for this right now, but that's my experience. But then when there's the older woman who has gone through certain aspects of life that
Mm-hmm.
you look and say, hey, maybe this is one that I could deal with because I am at this level in my life. I'm a particular level of my life that I'm mature. I want somebody who is in that mature region, not someone
Mm-hmm.
who is there still lollygagging with life. That's my perception to this question.
I'd like to add, if you're looking for a woman to train you, you need to stay home with your mother.
Yes, that's why we asked. That's why I said that
All
first.
right? You
Yeah.
need to stay home and let your mother train you. When you're looking for a relationship, and to me, really and truly, uh, age wise, I tend to look at compatibility and like where I want to be in life and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that before I look at age. Well, with regards to me, I of course I'm talking about my age, my age range, and
yeah.
older, of course. Too many men want to be treated like children from a woman. And we're talking about men here. So, like I said before, women will take care of their time when Chibiki calls them. Too many of us as men want women to do things for us that our mother should have taught us. Too many of us want another mother to wash your clothes for you and to cook for you and
Yes,
all
yes.
these things. So you working, she working, and you want to come home to a cooked meal when you can't even light the stove. If that's where you're going, if that's the reason why you want an older woman, then I would suggest that you don't need an older woman. As a matter of fact, you need no woman because you need to learn. You need, and this is serious.
No.
You need to be a man
Licks,
before you
Russell.
go and
You're
try
gonna
and
get
get a
licks, boy.
woman.
You're
No,
gonna
Because
get
I
licks,
don't,
Russell, boy.
I
Shibiki,
don't like this. No,
I
this
want to
links. This is a subjective question.
no,
Everybody will vary their opinion
no.
as
No,
it
no,
And
no,
this
relates
is
no,
to
no,
no.
no.
I'm
this.
giving my
But
opinion
Russell
here.
made a
I'm
Russell
giving
made a
my
valid
opinion.
point
It's
though.
a profound point. I
I'm
know
giving
it's a
my
profound
opinion,
point.
and I will end my point by saying this: I'm a biblical man.
Okay, Russell.
In the Garden of Eden, before God gave Adam a woman, and of course, naturally, the woman would have been younger than him because she was made after him. God gave Adam work.
That's right.
Preach,
Adam was
preach.
a complete man. Adam didn't need a wife. The Bible did not say that Adam needed a wife. The
True.
Bible said that God saw that he needed it. Adam didn't know what he wanted. Adam was just doing the work that God would have given him to do. Take care of the animals, take care of the garden, do his thing, and he was complete. He was happy. But then God saw that he needed a companion. And so before you go asking God for a companion, God needs to see that you are a complete man, that you
100%.
can you can rightly represent yourself, and then he will add to you the desire of your heart. I rest
Amen.
my
So,
case.
Yeah,
Russell,
I think with that said, we can get a third question because Russell wrap up that question. Yeah.
wait, no,
Um,
don't try to run from this, Damien. I, I still want to hear Russell. Russell, you said, oh, you look at age, you look at compatibility and those issues. I want to know, Russell, would you
Personally,
date an older woman? That is
would
the
I?
personal question on the table. Yes.
Would I date an older woman?
Yes.
Yes, I would.
How old is old?
Um, it depends on your age. No, if I was no seriously, it depends to me. It depends on my age. If I were in my 20s, still,
Mhm.
then I would have no problem dating a woman who is in her like early 30s. So, but let's say no, I wouldn't date a woman who is 45. I wouldn't. So it to me it depends on the like if I am 21 or
No,
22.
no, no. Let me use 30. You
Okay, let's say
30. Would you
25.
date
There.
Let's say if
Russell?
I'm
You
25,
30.
I'm older than 30, but thanks.
No, I wanted to use that. No, I wanted to use
If I'm
that bracket
30,
there. If you're 30, yeah.
um, I'd say probably like between 5 to 8 years.
Okay, so you would date
Yeah,
an older. Okay.
yeah.
I know, but your reasons, of course, may vary
I
from
wanna jump
person
in
to
there
person, of
quickly.
course.
Right.
Yes, Bob.
The age context that we are speaking of. You know though, if you're really looking at dating a woman who is older, and let's say you're in that 30 range, let's say you're 35, and you want to date like 8 years up or 10 years up. I don't think you were looking for children. If the woman does have children already. I'm speaking on the aspect of the whole reproductive system, how the female body works and what's not. There's a certain age where that whole thing just slows down. Um, the terminology that people use as a layman, the biological clock actually comes to the battery starts to die. Then the battery dies, right? And if you want children, that might be a hard struggle at that time, and that's the truth. There are a lot of other things that women go through, especially what's the term? What's it called again?
Menopause.
Boy, menopause. And for some women, this early onset menopause. And when some women get a certain age with this whole menopause, it could make your life miserable. So you got to put these things plus other things into play when dating up as a male. You know, that's my 2 cents.
All right. Thank you very much. The guy that was being silent. Ah, Damien, let us hear you say this.
Uh, I don't have much to say. Russell made my point. Bob made my point. For me, if there's compatibility, then the relationship can work. But you have to know what you want as a man out of the relationship, and you know, like Bob just said, if the female is older than you, and you know, you at an age, say you're in your 30s and she in her 40s, but you want a family, you know, where you going with an older woman? I mean, I've been there with older women. That was my preference before. Um, but I ain't start no families yet, and I can't continue to go down that road, you know. So as a result, you have to go down the ladder a
You,
little bit.
you went less
So
than. All along you were more than, now you're less than.
Greater
Okay.
than and more than. I wonder
So
what the
let
comments
let's
come in like.
but for
so
me
let's
personally, when I used to be involved
go
with
ahead.
older women is the reason, because the level of conversation, the level of maturity that I was looking for, seeking, it was there, and so as a result, I find that the older women is the way to go, and but now that I am up there, you could find that kind of conversation with someone who's down a little down there, so I think it has to do with what you want out of life, and if you could, it can happen with this partner.
So Damien, answer me
Not
this
say
question.
not
How
saying
many
it can work.
years?
How many years? To
Mm-hmm.
me, it can be more than 5.
Okay, five
I
years.
don't You know, nah, it can't be more than 5. Yeah, five will be fine. My last relationship, my girlfriend was, yeah, about 5 years older than me, just about.
Hmm, okay.
Yeah, which was
All
good.
right. So let's just pause a while here. I'm just inviting everyone, those of you who are viewing at this point in time, to share the link. Share the link on your page. Somebody's going to see it. Somebody's going to listen in. We will have a part two, of course, of this program. So there is something I want to say to you guys, everybody. I realize that okay, I love excellent points that you would have given in reference to what Gregson said. But when I listened to all of you, when you were Gregson age, your reasoning perhaps were the same. But as you grew and you became a man, you put away childish ways or childish thinking or young people thinking, right? So
Childish ways?
Um,
no, look, I don't want to
hold
give
on.
don't use the
that's the
word childish.
category you want to put it in?
Young people.
No, no, no.
No, let me put
Hold
it
on.
young people
I
thinking.
I understand what
There,
she's saying though. I
no,
understand what she's saying.
there are levels to this thing. Yes,
The levels.
there are levels to this thing, and some of us at Gregston's age were probably more
A
mature
little
as well,
higher. I
right?
understand. Yeah.
So
Valid point.
so it depends. It just depends on your level of maturity. It depends on how you were raised. Um, all these things they come into play. They make you what certain things make you more manly earlier.
True.
Yeah.
More
Beautiful
mature.
point. So I just want to touch base on some of the comments from the audience. Um, so Obioma Blair said this. She said, she's heard that women mature faster than men, so it's recommended to date a female younger than you, but to each his own. Of course, it depends on the age, right? And that the guys would have rightly said there. Um, Sabina said
Recommendation.
this: being older does not determine maturity. And there's some older women, and they're not mature in their thinking at all, right?
True.
And men vice versa, right? Um, Kevin says women are attracted to competence. Speak it. And most times competence comes from the age of maturity.
Competence comes from authority and maturity. Most times these qualities are found in older men. Women are attracted to competence. I think that statement is
All right.
general. I
Mm-hmm.
think that statement is a generalized statement. Not
Yeah,
all women are attracted to competence.
That's
that's
correct.
true.
Because if all women were attracted to competence, then some of these waste men who are around the place would never get any girlfriends or wives.
Hey, boy.
All right. So it's not
Correct
all
is right.
women attracted. We women women who have a vision for where they want to be and how they want to get there and stuff like that. Women who are motivated and driven, they may be attracted to competence. May, because some of them still choose men who are waste men. So it's still a generalized. To me, it's too the statement is too generalized for me. I like the word some, many.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but you can't say all.
Agree. Yeah, totally agree with that. Let me see some other comments. So Mikhail says this. Oh, I guess it's a reference to when one of the statements was being made. It hurts, but it's true. You have to learn how to stand on your own 2 feet before you get a girl. Mikhail, I need
That's
to
right,
bring you on this
Miguel. That's
program one
right.
of these good days, right?
That's
And
right,
we see
Miguel.
how Low will be reasoning. Low will be the I think I'll bring him on the next men
Yeah,
talk. So Mikhail, gear yourself. So you'll be the youngest on the program, and
praise
we
the
will
Lord.
hear
I'd like to
what
hear
your
his
views
views.
are. um,
Yes,
Basil says this, sometimes it's not that you want her to teach you, rather it's just that she does it best.
Ah,
Basil.
Basil.
okay,
Basil.
Dylan. All
Basil.
right.
This is a nice
Interesting
one.
perspective. Good perspective.
Sometimes it's not that you want her to teach you. Rather, it's just that she does it best. Well, there's a rank to that. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, Basil, we took
Experience,
note of it.
experience is a teacher. Yeah.
Mhm. All
Yeah.
right. Let me see.
Crisis.
So, oh, hi, Sarah. Okay, welcome. Here, Sarah. Sarah says this. Is it for financial stability? That's the older women aspect.
Not only, not
I'm still
only for,
listening.
not only
I'm
for
still.
financial stability.
Qualify,
Um,
Russell. Qualify the statement.
like Gregson, what the point that Gregson would have made, he never mentioned money in it. He mentioned that he wanted to be taught, and he believes that the women will teach him, teach him how to become a man. You
Did I
know,
say
I mean,
that?
a part of that becoming a man is becoming financially stable as well. But it's not just all wrapped up in that. Some men want to know, okay, so she will teach me how to treat a woman. She will teach me how to wash and cook and clean and iron and these things. These
Russell,
things that you should have an idea of how to do before you actually go and deal with trouble
I
people,
think I think
children.
Grayson wants to speak for himself.
Yeah, I need to
Grayson
speak
wants.
before I'm going to
You
put
deal
it
with that
away.
financial stability still.
I will
Dexter.
put it for financial stability. No, I have no problem with. It might sound hard, but starting from scratch is no problem. I heard Russell said compatibility. I think Damien said what did the level of conversations. Yeah, it's not because, and also for the sake of ironing and cooking and thing. I love to do those things. So that's a feather in my cap. So if I can
Yeah,
call that a
boy.
plus, if I can call that a plus,
Your
that
wife
is
will be
what.
lucky.
Yeah, that's what they bring. But in terms of conversation and compatibility, and somebody who is not, I mean, anybody it does being judgmental doesn't have an age, but someone who's not judgmental and willing to help you and not just throw you under the bus, you know. So I know what I'm looking for. It's not for somebody to teach me to be domesticated or whatever. But I just feel that an older woman, I feel that an older woman, and many things come with an older woman. I don't crucify me, please. So Sarah J K, sorry, no, it's not for financial stability. If she has, she has. If she does not have, she does not have. We will build together. Simple as that.
Ladies,
and
ladies,
just
ladies.
just
This
This
man,
guy is
this
single,
man that's
ladies.
speaking, right? This guy Gregson is speaking, and he's single. One thing, I live with Gregson as my roommate for a year or two, and I telling you, this man is domesticated. You got a good man
Mm-hmm.
there already, yeah? You got a good
Yeah.
man there.
Thank you for the
Just
free
point out there.
advertisement.
A man is
That's
not
right.
a man is not just good because he can cook, clean, wash, and iron.
It's just saying you
Why
want
you,
to,
why
to
you
yes.
add
want
to
to?
Don't
I am
go jump in
that
it too.
is only no. That is only part and parcel of the basket.
Right, I
All right.
agree.
He's a
My
good guy.
mother taught.
If
My mother didn't have to teach me to iron. She's right there in the program. She could tell you I started to iron when I was about 9. All
Mm,
right.
that's
I
beautiful.
started to iron my own clothes. I burned a few, of course,
That's how
and
you learn.
I learned how to cook rice and beans at about 12 or 11.
mhm,
I mean,
mhm.
when that first pot, it was so salt that I thought that sugar shibiki would change the taste, and so I poured sugar in it and made sweet and sour rice, right? That
Ladies, you might
it
still be
couldn't
the
be
same
it
age.
couldn't have been eaten. However, you ought to learn these things. You have to learn these things,
Mhm.
and even though you can't bake or whatever the case is, when the wife or the girlfriend is in the kitchen, you ought to be there helping, cutting up the
Thank you.
onions and being the what they call that, the prep.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Russell,
and
Russell,
yeah,
I want
yeah.
to jump in there. One of the questions I believe that was to come was about duties in your home, right?
No, let me
Yes,
not
that's the
touch
And
first
that.
thing.
Let us not touch. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
no,
That
Don't
has to be to the
preempt
next
Shibiki's
mentor.
program. It's not
I
yours.
no, but I want to weigh in on something that Russell said. Even though you might not come to the table knowing how to do certain things, the woman that you're interested in and she's interested in you, she can teach you. That's if you have the capability to or the ability or even the will to want to learn. Because I came into my marriage not knowing how to cook. And I tell you, my wife could tell you, she could sit back. And if I cook
Hmm.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, it is creme de la creme. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
That's what she tells you
But
to
yeah,
stroke your ego, bro.
you have to. No, but
That's your
other,
wife back.
other,
Thank God.
no, but other persons close to my wife tasted the food, and I tell you, some of the persons that tasted was like, that's awesome, that's awesome, you know.
But we
And if they're listening, they know who they are.
we know your wife will not lie for you. You know, so we know that she tasted the pot before you gave it to anyone else to eat.
All right. So,
Ah,
so Russell, when you saw this question here, I love it.
That's not a question,
Mrs.
Shibiki.
Mrs. Mears, I love the
All
question.
right.
It is
That's
so perfect timing in the
thank you
middle.
for
It's
Mrs.
perfect.
Mears an easy
let
boy.
me
Yes,
let me publicly say this.
make
Um,
Mrs. Mears smile,
that's
Russell.
my aunt, and she would have
Correct.
been one of the most influential individuals in me
My life.
growing up and becoming the man that I am today. So if she says that I am mature, then you can take it to Scotiabank. With regards to the marriage part, he who is to come will come and will not tarry.
Ah,
amen.
all
But
right, teacher.
Hallelujah.
before we move on,
Um,
I agree with what Russell said that it's not only about being domesticated, because I have learned, and trust me, I've learned a lot of things these past months, and I'm like, wow, I've learned that I have a lot of things to unlearn. So I have to wheel, go back, wheel, and come again. So being domesticated is good, communicating is good, but then there's certain things I have to really break down, mash it up, and then build and come back. So until that time comes, I think it's best. Why am I saying this? I think it's best that I don't pursue anybody. Let me deal. There is this spiritual development, this personal development. When I am a certain way in those things, maybe then I will come back out and start looking. But right now, I know that there are many things to learn. So yes, being domesticated and talking and being kind, courteous, opening the car door, pushing the door at the mall. Yeah, nice and fine. But then there's some things that are a bit. So as we would say in the Caribbean, let me reel and come again. And when I come again, this is not, I shouldn't say that state. It makes me think of Jesus. But when I reel and come again, I believe I'll be a better man and in a better position to maintain a relationship, maintain a marriage. So, boy, these 2 months, I tell you, I'm glad for this forum. By the
You,
way, I get to share
you,
what was on my heart for a while.
in this
Shibiki,
process, in
express
this
yourself.
process,
Express
Gregson,
yourself.
Yeah.
don't
So
beat up, yeah? In this
no
process,
more
don't
rather,
beat up
no more, no more.
And
because it might
just
not just it might take up a long period of time before you come
Mm,
to that self actualization. Even when you get involved with a female, even you
mm,
actually get married, there's still so much. Then, as Russell was saying, there's levels to this thing. There's level of being
yes,
single, that things you learn while you're single,
yes.
things that you learn while you're dating, things that you learn when you're married. Things dynamics change in the marriage as age comes on, as different things
Mm,
happen. It's just like there's no
It's a lot.
the only constant is change. But with that
yes,
change, there's
yeah.
learning all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't be
and
caught at that level there all the time. You gotta keep climbing that round, climbing that round, climbing that round.
you
Well,
know,
I
thanks
love
for.
that.
Shibiki, you know you can tell when they're theology majors on your program, eh?
Why
Because
you say that?
when Greg Stan just said about come again,
Jesus.
I immediately went to a Bible text. It was like, I will come again and receive you
Receive
unto
you.
myself.
You
Yeah.
onto my own. I was thinking the same thing too, you know.
but
Oh,
I
just
really,
You know?
yeah, Damien.
Wow.
just because all of this stemmed from one, the female being older. Then the question was raised by someone on the platform about financial stability. Right. One of the things that we should take note of is that not because the female is older than the male, meaning that the roles are swapped, our responsibilities change. You
True.
understand?
Yeah.
That man still has to function at a certain level. He's still a
Mm,
protector. He still has to be a provider. You understand? And if he's falling short of that, then he's no place to have an older or younger woman. You
my
understand?
lord.
So he must be fitting in a particular having certain principles in place, certain standards, and walking a certain path. You understand? To function as that man, he has to function. So not
Hmm.
because she's older means that there's
For
a
those
flip and a swap. So yeah.
Beautiful. I
for
love
those
it. I
those
love it.
persons who are contemplating marriage, those persons who contemplating marriage, and you're going to and believe that you will be accessing the uses of a counselor. One question that my wife and I were asked when we went before a counselor: what are you bringing to the table? I know this is men talk, but I just love this whole relationship and marriage and family thing. What are
Hmm.
you bringing to the table? Think about that
Like, gonna do that
question.
class again.
Right. Think about that question when you're dating. What do you have to bring to the table? And it doesn't always have to do with finances or whatever, because yes, you can start from scratch and go again. But what do you have that you can bring to the table, whether it be positive or negative? Because with the negative too, you're looking at the aspect of how can I change that negative to a positive? So always
Yeah.
ask yourself the question: what am I bringing to the table? It can inform
Beautiful.
and guide the pace or guide the steps into the relationship.
Well said. And Gregson, even as we wrap up this program here this evening, one of the things, Gregson, I must publicly commend you for. I mean, you've been my friend. You have worked with me when it comes to, I mean, when everybody else went away, when we were dealing with certain things for our department. And I must commend you for your humility. I must commend you for Gregson is not the type of guy who is afraid to say, Shibiki, I don't think I know. What is your opinion about this particular matter? And I can't wait when the day comes when God would finish pruning you
Jeez, some
and
free
you
advertisement there,
will
boy.
be so equipped to meet that woman of your dream to marry. Boy, I just can't wait. On a serious note, you are a
Speaking
great
for the
guy.
ladies, Shabiki.
Yeah, I'm just talking to the ladies on the panel. You
I
are
think
a great.
Ladies,
it's
Oh God,
ladies.
yes.
I
Well,
think
thank you.
I think it
Thank you.
just I
I
think
am
it
just
just
thinking.
sent him back into the dating pool.
No, 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 no. Let him take his time. He recognized that he needs, and that's one of the things. I commend young men who recognize that there's a need for change and they're working towards change even before thinking, hey, lady, I would be happy to be in a relationship, but I need to change some things about me. When a man
Hmm.
says that, I have double respect for a man like that. And so, Gregson, I have double respect for you. You will always be my friend. And I must commend you one of these good days. I don't know if it's a guy and his wife you may get. Who knows? But it
Who
might be a
knows?
Bajan girl. It might be somebody from Anguilla. It might be somebody from Antigua
But
or
praise the
Tobago or
Lord, man.
Trinidad. We don't
Yeah.
know.
Go to Antigua, bro.
Caribbean girl, man. A Caribbean
Like
girl.
Well,
dropping in the school up there, boy.
thank you for your kind words, Shibiki. And there's a statement Jesus said that I love very much, though I'm taking it way out of
Evangelism, yes.
context. He said, "The hour is coming, and now is." So when my time come, I will say the
Yes,
hour is coming,
that's right.
and now
And now
is.
is
And he said it in John 4. I don't remember the verse, but
no
John 4.
no no is the accepted time.
Yeah, he did. It's coming, man. I believe it, but things take time. So I'm taking my
Yeah,
time
yeah.
and so on. But
You
thank you
you
for your
know you
kind
know
words.
you mentioned the word time. I was speaking to someone recently, and they said that money is no longer the currency. Time is the currency.
Hmm.
Time
What a
well
thing.
spent. This is the
Mm,
currency that we have to look at now. Time is the currency that we are using. So time is the
mm-hmm,
essence in everything. So
mm-hmm.
good words there, my brother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All
Amen.
right, so we're going to bring this discussion to a close. I pray God. Oh, by the way, audience, we will have a part two and if possible, a part three.
I
because
think we should have a part three.
we'll see what happens next month. But I want to invite everyone. Thank you very much, guys, gentlemen, Johan, Russell, Damien, and Gregson, for being with us
Hmm.
this evening. Next week, you don't want to, audience, you don't want to miss next week. We are getting a heated debate, a discussion, and this discussion will be among wives, women who are married. We will have a wife forum. These women will be, we will be discussing the topic unexpected wife, unexpected wife. How am I forgetting my own topic? Anyway, unexpected wife, something anyway. But the point is, we're dealing with some of the unexpected things that men, well, what men expect when you see women get married. And wives will be here, married women, and they will be talking from their experiences. And you can't afford to miss next week session. All
Are we
right.
using
And
Ephesians 5 in
I
this one?
we could start listing them from now.
We're using Ephesians chapter 5 in this one?
we'll see where it goes. But the ladies
Oh
are
wow.
already lined up.
Let's see.
I just have to get maybe two more confirmation, and we are going to have a live discussion. I can't wait for next week too. And of course, the following week, next week, you know what we do in the following week. So most likely we have our next men talk sometime in June month. And so,
Hmm.
gentlemen, I'll let you know the date at least by the end of this week or so, and so that you all can get prepared for the next session. And Michael Lowe, you have been invited to be a part of this next men talk,
Yeah.
and we hope that you will be able to make it on our forum. So
Question,
thank you very
Shibiki.
much. So yeah, go ahead, Damien.
Um, any of these women are married to pastors?
We will leave that.
Wow.
we
That
will
makes
we
it
will
even more
be
interesting.
we
So
will
I,
we
I
will
really would want to
killing me.
come and hear that one for real.
we will leave that one there, but
Mercy, Lord.
trust me, you will not, you can't. Up to this afternoon, a lady messaged me. She was like, "Here should be Kiva. I'm on next week." I'm like, "Yeah, next week is a program." She was like, "Girl, right now I'm processing my mind. I'm praying that the Holy Spirit direct me what to say, because it will be a hot conversation next week. So don't miss it. Those of you who have not shared the link as yet, share the link. Don't forget, for those of you on YouTube, you can subscribe to my channel. Even for those of you on Facebook, you can subscribe to our channel so that as we continue to bring you live and real discussion from different individuals. So thank you very much. I'm going to ask any one of our gentlemen this evening to close us in prayer.
All right, I'll volunteer. Our most kind and heavenly Father, we are so thankful that you allow this program to be what it has been. Father, I know time does not even permit us to wholeheartedly and to express everything. But nevertheless, what was said here, I pray that you would cause the positive statements and the positive impact to fall upon those who are searching, those who are learning more about themselves as men, and even as women who poses questions, that they would have received the answers to the questions that they wanted. Father, I pray for every young man here and also our moderator, Shibiki, that you would bless each and every one of them. Bless their families, Father. Father, I pray that their relationships would be relationships that would be of great example to others who have fallen in their relationships, who have seen relationships go haywire, and who no longer want to be part of relationships, godly relationships. I pray that our examples, Father, will impact them to follow you and put you as the forefront of the relationship. So continue to bless the moderator Shabiki as she continues to fulfill her calling in ministry, as she continues to host these programs that will help people in their family life. This is our prayer in your name. Amen.
Amen and amen. All right, guys.
Amen.
So see each one of you, and to my loving audience, have a wonderful rest of the evening. Hi, Vanessa. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you, Vanessa, one of these. And so long, everyone. Have a wonderful week. See you again next Thursday at 6:30.